with the coral or something?
Yeah, go ahead, video. A lot of current here now.
Oh, no, it's a
Another
brittle star. Or a Bersingid.
Yeah, it looks like the one we saw before.
Yeah,
And it also seems to have the little arms, too.
Yeah, I've never seen a pale brittle star. I've always seen that bright orange color we saw before. Interesting.
And it looks like another brittle star behind it on that rock as well.
Okay, full wide, please. Yeah. Really significant current coming down the slope.
Coming straight at you?
Yeah.
Bridge now. One more step, please.
Can we zoom in right where the lasers are?
Yeah, go ahead, video.
Slime star. I think they can also be called membrane stars.
Just coaching up.
I'm gonna reset DVL real quick.
Sure.
Full wide.
Roger.
Alright, reset.
And hey, back row, could loose rocks be cemented together by that manganese crust?
Oh yeah, definitely by the manganese
Yeah.
crust. And in some of these cases it might be like a old mass wasting event that has since been manganese crusted over.
And that's why it looks so, like all these little chunks and stuff.
Yeah.
Might be stuck together.
Am I clear to use bubble?
Yeah, go ahead.
Craft is same as
Bridge now.
before. It's good.
Roger.
One more step, please. Whenever Herc's movement lines up with the sway of the ship, I feel like I'm in one of those movie theaters that like fully immerses you and like moves your seat.
Oh, yeah.
And I just need like a spray of water in my face now.
40.
Yeah. Just don't really get, because isn't the fourth dimension time?
I think the 40 is like the water and the whatever.
That's just what, yeah, that's what they called it at like
Yeah.
Universal Studios and stuff.
At it's like a Jordan's Furniture near me that they do it.
Cool.
Yeah.
For everybody that is not from New England, Jordan's Furniture is a big furniture store that has IMAX theaters and
Light shows and
Mardi
like,
Gras.
that's how I watched Polar Express is in 4D.
At a furniture store?
Yeah.
I've never heard of
No,
that.
it's a
I felt like that
fantastic
needed
thing.
to be explained.
How do you get, like, your kids to go
Shopping with you.
shopping for furniture with you. You know, it's a long process to pick it out, and you just send them to the movies.
There's one of the Jordans that's a bit further. I think it's in Natick that has like a then further than me that has a like a
Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras.
It used to be like a Mardi Gras theme, like themed like entrance.
Oh well, I
like-
was gonna say one of them has a like a. It's like a course for like scaling beams between each other, like an obstacle course kind of thing, but it's elevated. It's pretty cool.
Like a ropes course.
Yes, a ropes course. Thank you.
That sounds like a lot going on.
Bridge, Nav.
It's kind of brilliant because if you want to see an
One more
IMAX
step,
film,
please.
you got to walk through. Like they basically make like a maze. You know when you go to IKEA,
Mm-hmm.
you got to
Yeah.
like go through the whole route. Yeah, it's like that to get to the movie theater. So
Sounds like awful.
it's not.
Allison's recoiling in the back at the thought of this.
It's not my favorite place, but I did see Dark Knight there.
Oh yeah.
And
You
like
all clearly
Jurassic
have
Wor-
some great
Jurassic
memories.
World.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
I-
I've never actually been to one of these. I just know about it.
I saw a great Rock's Light show there. It was cool. It was like Aerosmith songs, and it was like all lasers.
This is
It was
not
a whole
getting any
laser
better.
show.
No. In 4D, did you
That
get like
one.
Steven Tyler's sweat on you?
Everything was just like it was just like kind of like 80s shapes and stuff made out of lights, like squiggles
You know,
and
80s
stars and
shapes.
stuff, but like to a Aerosmith soundtrack. That one was not 4D, but it was at Jordan's. They have like they'll play more than one thing at once.
What are
There's a
80s shapes?
There's a stock crinoid on that rock in front of us.
Thank you, Jamie.
Go ahead and zoom in there, video.
There's an Earth, Wind, and Fire video that I'll show you later for 80 shapes.
Let's focus on this crinoid for now.
Or is that? That's really.
You can see how strong the current is from how much that crinoid is bending down.
Yeah.
Yeah, the current is very severe right now.
See quite a few of those little crinoids.
Yeah, there are.
Is it just that we're getting to the top of the ridge that we're starting to feel what's
The
coming
way it's
over
coming
it,
around here
or-
somewhere, I'd say. Yeah.
Yeah. Got about 190 meters to the top of this ridge leading up to the seamount.
We're just past another stocked crinoid event yet.
Chris, let the ship stop up after this move.
Roger that.
See if we can gain any ground here.
I wonder how well the unstocked crinoids can hold on compared to how the stocked crinoids are sort of really getting pushed by that current. Some angular pieces there.
I feel like I've seen a lot of good rock shapes. They're just
Yeah, when they're kind of
Herc
buried
shape
on all angles,
sized.
edges, I get worried. You can kind of see to the right what the rock looks like when it's more
Pull
exposed.
up on Argus
it's all
a bit,
bulbous.
Kylie, or
Mhm.
close to the hill there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Watch up there.
gotcha.
Yeah, so for our viewers at home, as Kevin mentioned, you can see sort of the morphology of these uncovered large pieces of the flow. You can see how they're a bit more bulbous and have these little spots that are poking out through the sediment, which is what appears to be distinct pieces, but instead are likely pieces of these larger flows.
We're not that near to the little step there, are we? Starting to not be able to make any headway here.
Really?
Current's just laying us back about 70, 75 meters. Do you want to wait a little longer or for me to push on?
No, you can't. I don't want you to go forward anymore.
Okay.
See if we can get up here at all. It's a bit better.
And apparently we've got a viewer who's displaying the Nautilus feed on a sheet in their backyard at their 4th of July celebration.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome.
They said they're going to tweet a pic to us.
That's
That's
great.
a really cool idea.
Thanks for having us a part of your party.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Finally got invited to a party.
Aw.
Sounded like you were crying for a second there.
Yeah, these are really bulbous. I like these. They're cool.
Could we zoom on the left side of the screen on that pink patch?
Yeah, it's not going to be very pretty. Go ahead, video.
Still coming in.
Yeah, come wide. I'm like full stick just to get up the hill here.
Yeah, that's fine. Al, did you think that looked like a Metallogorgia? Or do you think it didn't have enough stock?
I couldn't see a stalk, so I was going to say just Chrysogorgid in general.
I was gonna say.
Oh, okay.
But I couldn't see any stalk.
Sounds good.
Agreed.
That's pretty awesome outcrop.
Yeah.
Now, what would cause this bulbousness? Is that the flow itself or the way that it's cooling or combination of that?
That's the flow itself, so kind of a very slow moving pillow flow. Probably.
Cool.
Probably pretty thick if it's one flow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Not going, huh?
No, so I'm going to give up on it in a minute and we can just come up and tow and move a little bit further up. If you look in high pack, that I feel like if we get to the top of this little feature here, the currents will probably shift around, right?
Up, you mean to waypoint 2?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
around where it flattens out there, I'm sure this will change. I think it's just being scooped around here somehow.
It's an interesting different color on that rock we just, as at the
Yeah, I
bottom
was
of the
staring
screen.
at it. Wonder if it had the manganese stripped or something. Or, yeah, I'm not sure what caused that coloration.
Do you know what could strip manganese?
No. Maybe a critter, but none that I know of. So, I have no idea what that coloration of that rock was from.
This is quite literally an uphill battle.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I tuck in really, really tight to it, I can make some headway.
Yeah, so for our viewers at home, our RV pilots are working against a pretty strong current here. Does it seem like it's kind of coming up and over the ridge, and is that what would be causing this? That
Yeah.
sediment
Look at the sediment.
waterfall.
Just,
Wow.
Awesome.
Wow.
That should, wow. Just at the angle of repose.
Gold star.
Does that suggest the current is unusually strong right now?
I would guess, yeah. I don't think they can be a constant flux. Well, I mean,
Not that much sediment.
yeah, it seems like a lot of sediment in a very
Bare
small,
spot.
specific spot,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, this might be unusual amounts of current.
So for anybody that's watching and wondering why there's nothing in Argus view, it's because Herc is probably directly underneath me beyond where my camera can reach and just fighting the current to get out in front in view.
That's a lot of current.
You can actually see the marine snow. Looks like it's falling faster than usual.
Mm-hmm.
Does Hercules have equal thrust forward and backward, or is one
No, it's
have
better
more
to
power
go
than the other?
ahead. More power to go forward. So thrusters are cleared on the back. So when it pushes water, there's no obstructions. Whereas when you go in reverse, you're pushing all that through the whole frame and all the bits of instruments in the frame.
Right.
So it interferes with it.
Looks like a little Apidiodia
Nice.
I did that without looking at it. So it may be wrong.
Pidiodia.
Is that how you went to sleep last night?
It kept repeating in my head. I have that problem where I get like phrases and words just stuck in my head. And that's going to be one of them.
That's awesome.
Every bad joke I tell gets stuck in my head too. I'm like, gosh, you had a shot, ruined it.
That's why you have to share the jokes to get them out.
Oh, this is crazy.
Yeah, I wonder if it's going to be like this up the entire top of the seamount.
Now, Allison, I remember you talking in the past about the seamounts themselves kind of creating these micro flows. Is that what is probably happening here?
It could be. So I think what you're thinking about is something I called bathymetric forcing.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you have a lot of topographic highs, then it can force the currents around the seamounts. So
Mhm.
you get this pretty strong current around the seamounts themselves. So if you've got a-
Bathymetric forcing is that
Mhm.
phrase?
Yep.
Cool.
You can see Herc's lasers at the edge of the Argus view dancing along in front.
Yeah.
It's trying to get up there. They are dancing along, aren't they? That's cute.
There's Hercules.
All right, call in a move, Chris.
Roger that. Bridge nav. Another step, please.
Quite a few of these
calm down a lot,
carnoids.
like just like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we're right out of it now almost.
Huh.
Color me confused.
These yellow crinoids seem to be the dominant thing that I'm seeing.
I wonder if they're the most current resistive
Yeah,
species around
they
here.
seem to be, you know, hanging on quite well in the as we were moving up there. But there's quite a lot of them up here now.
Mm-hmm.
Are you able to take a rock now or no?
Yeah.
You see the dark colored one on the bottom of the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see
Ooh.
if that one's loose. It kind of looks loose.
Bridge nav. Of course we hold position.
Come on, rock. Daddy needs a new pair of shoes.
That's a good looking rock.
Whoa.
Oh.
Wow. Zoom in there.
What's the
We're
little
good on the zoom.
Okay, full wide.
bubble to the
The
left of the
circular
rock?
thing. Yeah,
Like
it was
tunicate?
just
Yeah, I think that's a tunicate.
Cool.
here we go. Rock for Kevin.
All right.
Nice.
Bingo.
Nice.
It's a little guy. Do the job. Alright.
And a little crine.
So around
couple
it,
little
it has a
crinoid.
reddish oxidized layer in it.
Okay, where's it going?
Could we put it in the aftmost small starboard box?
The
D.
aftmost. Roger. Good thing there's no corals in there right now.
Would they be
They might
whipped
get
out by the current?
Sucked out now.
Yeah.
Can see
Oh,
the.
you can do that. Never mind. What am I doing? Okay.
And in the quad view, you can really see that marine snow moving.
You can see the arm very well in Argus view and the bio box.
Oh, nice.
Shadow.
That is a cool shot. It's like
Now,
Just-
can you
Excellent,
drop
thank
a
you.
target there? 075.
7.5.
Kirk reaching around and putting it in his pocket for later.
They must have taken a good amount of samples after our watch yesterday. Because what were we on, like 6, 7?
What are we up to?
7.5?
Yeah, they came across some big coral gardens after we went to sleep.
Okay, we move the ship.
Bridge nav. One more step, please.
And hello to everyone that's joining us on Nautilus Live right now. Thank you for tuning in here. We are exploring a seamount north of Jarvis Island here in the Pacific Remote Islands Marine National Monument. Taking a look at what biodiversity we're seeing down here. And right now we just collected a rock that will be used to help determine the age formation of this area. So far we've been seeing a lot of these yellow crinoids in this area. There's been a current pushing on us, making it, harder to go up these slopes and things. Be interested to see how the morphology changes as we move along, as well as the biodiversity. And again, you can send in your questions right below the video feed on nautiluslive.org. We'll do our best to answer your questions about the science that we're doing, things that you're seeing on screen, what it takes to explore the ocean. Let us know, and thank you again for joining us.
Zoom in there.
It's like an unstalked crinoid. Holding onto the rock there with the extensions at the bottom. Maybe a brittle star right behind it. And again, these crinoids that we're seeing are filter feeders, eating the debris out of the water.
Okay, full wide.
Bridge nav. One more step, please.
We are seeing down here on these dives a lot of invertebrates at these depths, but we do see vertebrates like fish, and yesterday we saw a pretty cool shark that was identified as some type of sand tiger shark. That was a pretty large animal that we've seen. The fish that we see do range in size, but it's not just invertebrates down here, but they do tend to, you know, be what we're seeing as we move along these ridges and seamounts. And if you check out quad view right now, really, really beautiful view of the sunset, along with Herc and Argus view. You get the whole shebang, the whole thing, the whole experience, the whole package. That's what I was looking for. Thank you.
Bridge now. One more step, please. Ship's just about at the top here. Argus
Roger.
trailing behind about 40 meters. Maybe a little more.
Now, to me, these bigger chunks look like they've been broken off of something. Would that be a fair assessment from our geologists? Maybe not the ones we're looking at right now, but there does seem to be some larger, big chunks.
It's possible. And it's possible some of these are just mass spacing events that occurred a long time ago and have since been all kind of joined together with manganese crust.
Yeah. Looks like another unstocked crinoid next to a stocked crinoid there on the rock.
Bridge now. One more step, please.
And in terms of people who have been with Nautilus the longest in this control van, it's definitely Allison and Jamie, for sure.
Yeah, I think this is my 8th season sailing on the ship.
Awesome.
You win.
Jamie, are you 7?
I'm 7.
I was sure I had it. What are we at?
Mike, you've done a lot,
2
right?
weeks now?
Getting there. 4 years now. This is my 4th year.
And then I think Kylie, Steve, and I are all pretty much in line. This is our 2nd season.
And then I'm the
Chris
newbie.
is the baby of the group.
That is my first
Whittle
season
quiz.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin's first.
Yeah,
first
Kevin and I are
season.
both babies.
Although I don't get paid by OET, so it's a bit different.
But,
And
yeah.
Kevin, you've also been on other cruises, correct?
Oh yeah,
On other ships.
yeah, I've been on.
And not that Chris hasn't been on other ships,
been on
but
other ships.
Yeah,
but,
I'm not the Coast Guy guy.
this is
I'm
a
not doing this.
Chris. Is this your first research vessel?
This is my
Or,
first
sorry,
research vessel.
Exploration vessel?
Yes, exploration.
Do you ever work on the tall ships?
Bridge now. One more step, please. Sorry about that. Yes, actually, at the Academy, part of our training is spending 6 weeks on board Eagle, America's tall ship.
Yes, I was just reading about Eagle yesterday.
Happy birthday, America. Eagle was taken as a war prize from the Germans after World War II. And it was one of their training vessels, and now it is fitted for a training vessel for just about all Coast Guard officers in the service for traditional navigation practices.
Cool.
So all of that shipboard life without necessarily all the technology modern ships have.
Are we able to grab a rock here?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if these would work. But I like the one... Nah, I think we already passed the one I think will work.
Ridge, nav. Of course we hold position.
You wanna?
There's 2 angular ones to like 5 o'clock from the lasers. That might work.
In here somewhere?
To bottom, lower. So 5 o'clock still,
Oh,
but
yeah, I see.
yeah.
I think I see what you're after. One of these ones under the lasers now?
Yeah, below the lasers.
Yeah. Jumbly spot. Let's see what happens here.
This one may be welded as well, but it has a different pattern than the other ones we've been seeing. So fingers crossed.
You're looking at the one to the left of the lasers?
Well, kind of in the middle.
Oh, yeah. I give it 80-20.
I'm not going to ask which is.
I was going to say.
It's always 50-50. Either it does or it doesn't.
This one?
Um,
The bigger one up here.
Yeah, let's try the bigger one first, see if it moves. But
Yes.
Hey.
That would be 50%.
yeah.
It does.
Nice one.
Nice.
It's a
Definitely
good looking
basalt.
rock.
You can see the oxidation in some spaces. Otherwise completely coated, probably. Yeah. Looks like a good one.
Okay, full wide.
Can we put that in starboard the aft larger compartment?
Roger.
What happened to the Argus light? Or is that just the...
Oh, we just had a
Iris
frame
down.
here.
Okay, thank you.
Pulling up. I've got stuff on my sonar. Hold on 1 second, please.
Oh yeah, lift up.
Yep, I am. Just a second. I'm gonna come up more. Okay, that's a bit better.
Alrighty. So the ship is over the waypoint. It's just the swing that has us out a little bit. I don't know if you guys want to see if we can bring that in any before we start moving up the ridge.
Yeah, let's try and check that, but just gonna try and get up front again and put this sample away.
Current might work in our favor, bringing it out starboard side so we're not exactly backing over it.
Yeah. Current has really picked up again. Alright, I can see the lights is good enough. Come in here for a minute.
If you're watching in quad, you can see in the bottom left that Hercules still has that rock gripped tightly. Coming along for the ride.
And quite a few crinoids in Herc view right now. And it looks like that unstocked variety that we were seeing on the rocks a little earlier. So again, these crinoids are filter feeders, and they're going to be consuming the debris coming through the water. You can also see a brittle star.
The brittle stars are just getting blown along, huh?
They can move pretty quickly too, like the long arms, they sort of like push themselves off of stuff. Do a lot of free falling.
This one looks like it's doing some free soloing.
Hey, box out.
An F, correct?
Yep.
Excellent work, thank you.
Funny how he ended up just with that big group of crinoids, and it doesn't seem to be that much density anywhere else in this area that we can see.
Bless you.
I guess everybody's looking for a easy place to settle down with that current. You know?
Yeah.
It's one of those yellow corals we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah. Ooh, and a big stalked crinoid there.
So we should be approaching the top of this ridge. Hopefully we start to see some more coral.
Yeah, so the life's picking up a little bit. And, on these dives, we haven't seen much or at all any man-made debris in these areas, but it's definitely something that's common to see when exploring the deep sea, because things, get polluted into the water. They, can get caught in these big currents, and they also fall down the water column and end up in some of the deepest, most remote areas of the ocean.
Welcome to waypoint 2.
Is there a term for a gathering of crinoids?
Ooh.
A gathering of what?
Question.
Crinoids.
Oh. We definitely have one here.
Cluster.
A smattering.
You do like that word.
What do you call a group of teachers?
Teachers.
School. A school of teachers.
Oh, there you go.
Like how you have a school of fish?
Yeah. I was like, I got really confused for a second there.
Like last year on Watch, we had a bunch of them, different groups of things.
Yeah.
All set to head up this ridge. Alrighty. Bridge nav. Request 20-meter step bearing 290. Figure get a feel for it a little bit and then see whether we want to keep doing steps or a line.
Yeah.
Speaking of groups of things, in the past 24 hours, I've heard from 3 different people unconnected that a group of crows is called a murder of crows.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Was that in the trivia game?
It was in the trivia game. It was in a Netflix thing I had downloaded, and then someone was just talking about it yesterday.
That's a little
Eerie.
ominous there.
Right.
Yes. Crows are awesome, though. Shout out to corvids, the group of birds that crows and ravens are in. Super smart.
The difference, I think, if I remember correctly, between crows and ravens are that, gosh, which one's the cooler one?
Ravens are bigger.
Oh, yeah, okay, so ravens are bigger, and they go
solitary.
in pairs, and then crows are like in groups.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And crows are much louder and noisier than ravens.
I like both of them.
So the
There
time.
I was just gonna. You'll be interested in this, actually, Steve. I was reading a write-up about an experiment that had crows ride skateboards, like give them little skateboards, and there was 2 species of crow that took a liking to the skateboards and actually tried to use them, and then 1 species of crow that had no interest in the skateboard.
Bridge now.
That's cool. They do seem very curious.
One more step, please.
I want to see this now.
There's some amazing videos on YouTube of the kinds of tests that scientists who study the intelligence of animals like crows kind of do, like puzzles, physical puzzles, and watching these birds solve them is a really, really cool thing to watch. You can like see them thinking through the problem.
To tie this into sea life, I worked with a scientist, and he told me that the crows, when they pick up shellfish, they sometimes fly up and they drop them to break them. Bigger shellfish, they need to fly higher to break the shell. But if they fly really high and drop it, then other birds, other crows even, might come and grab the meat, so to speak, before they get there.
Yeah.
So the crows have figured out a relative height based on relative size of the shell to fly to and drop it.
Oh,
Wow.
that's so cool. They're so smart. And you can also make friends with crows if they are like around you.
Canuck the crow.
They can recognize human faces.
You can also make very bad enemies of crows.
Yes, you can.
Because they will.
Because they
all the
recognize
crows in the
human
neighborhood
faces.
will attack
Yep.
An Alfred Hitchcock movie.
you. Yeah.
The birds.
But the ravens in my neighborhood, you can see them. They'll grab nuts and they'll fly up in the air and
Bridge
smash it
now.
on the street. And then they'll watch if a car goes
One
over
more
it,
step,
then they'll
please.
swoop down quickly and grab it.
little extra help from the car.
Yeah.
If any of our viewers are more interested in the personality of crows and a really cool story, there's a short film I recommend called Canuck and I. It's about a crow in Vancouver and his relationship
Can we
with
get a zoom
a man
on the fish?
Yeah, go ahead.
that and friends.
This looks different than what we were seeing before.
Eel like fish, fish like eel.
It's very cute.
Eel
Little
like
fins.
a bony fish.
There you go.
I actually don't know if it's a bony fish. I don't think it is.
I got an email from one of our scientists ashore, and I think some of the fish that we saw in yesterday's dive could have been the first sightings of some of those species in the Pacific
What?
in this area.
scooching out.
And the shark that we saw could be potentially far beyond the depth range, they thought.
Wow.
Shark
That's
would go.
exciting.
That's what,
That's
because
very
they
exciting.
said sand tiger, and like I said, like, I catch sand tigers in 30 feet of water.
That's a long call straight ahead.
Yeah.
Is it okay to use bubble?
Yeah, go ahead.
Gonna zoom on the coral when you're ready to.
Yeah. Go ahead, video.
What are those little orange bits?
Huh.
Definitely looks
Lower
like
half
a
is
Bamboo.
stripped.
bamboo. Yeah.
Bamboo coral.
It seemed to have like orange things near the polyps as well, which was kind of strange.
Bridge nav.
Would it be possible to scan back up toward the top again?
One more step, please.
Yep.
And I have a little more zoom left if you think we can go in, Michael.
Just hold on a minute. Okay, go on in.
Tough to say.
Would it be possible to scan back down the stock one more time at this level? It's another coral in the background, yellow.
Yeah,
There's
what?
some fibers kind of coming off as well. I wonder if those long fibers are from the orange things.
Alright, yeah, those orange parts, I'm not sure. Yeah.
Interesting.
Alright, thank you.
And for what?
Definitely had a lot going on for one big long branch.
We're set back a good distance under us. Bridge now. One more step, please. You know, I'm thinking about the species that this is like their first time seeing in the Pacific. I'm just thinking that's really cool that, you know, those like pictures in textbooks, it's like this is the area
The
in
range.
the world that like this organism lives.
Yeah.
And that like maybe one day there will be a picture of some of these because we saw it.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. And I know the depth range scenario, wasn't that similar with the gulper eel last year? That it was at a depth that hadn't been seen before?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Which again, it just goes to show the importance of just getting eyes on a lot of these areas. Because even if it's not, you know, a brand new species, it's expanding our knowledge of, you know, the interactions of different biomes and communities and, you know, where things live. Just gives us an overall better understanding of our oceans. And the brittle stars that we see on a lot of the corals, typically they're getting up onto the corals to get sort of more of a reach into the nutrient flow down here. But there are other, you know, the other sea stars, which are a different, you know, type of star. They do eat coral polyps. So
Can we zoom on that?
sometimes you'll see
Go ahead,
them
video.
attached as well.
Coming in tighter.
Yep.
Are those white branches or yellow branches?
White?
They kind of look white on that back side.
Stem is pretty yellow though.
Okay, full wad. I gotta go.
Yeah. Maybe it's a mix of live and dead parts.
Bridge now. Another step, please.
Another big sponge. Up by the lasers.
Zoom in.
Like a spiky sponge.
It's a beautiful glass sponge.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Some type of medieval weapon.
I'm actually really excited because I was recently given a specimen of a glass sponge to use in my lessons, and it looks a lot like that, except it doesn't have a lot of the spikes coming out because a lot of that is, in some species, the actual alive bits versus the skeleton. And another unstocked crinoid to the left and a
That's